How do you say hi? How are you?
Oi.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna forget already. Okay.
I'll start typing it there.
Yeah.
Literally, hi. Everything good? Go ahead.
Tudo bem.
To the bang. Yeah. Say B-E-M, bang. Say it like you're like bang, bang, like a gun. Bang.
Tudo bem.
To the bang. Mm-hmm. Oi, to the bang. And your response to that is this. That's the Brazilian way.
Tudo.
That's your response. Muito bom. Muito bom. All right. Let's start it this way. I want you to say, my name is. Can you say that?
O meu nome é
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. M-E-U, meu.
Mel.
Meu.
O meu nome
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bryce.
Muito bom, muito bom. So, o meu, say it like this. O meu nome é Bryce.
O meu nome é Bryce.
O meu nome é Bryce. O meu nome é Bryce, right? Your topic here, you're introducing yourself, right?
I remember. I could say then, você é.
Right.
Você é Tony.
Right. Let's get this verb here. I am, to introduce yourself.
So.
So.
It's a nasal, right?
You don't have to go nasal there, just go so.
So.
Muito bom. So. To say I'm from. G. The letter G.
So G.
Philadelphia. Okay, muito bom. So G, Philadelphia. I'll go. Oi, tudo bem? O meu nome é Tony. Sou de Chicago. Sou de Chicago. You want to go?
Oi, tudo bem?
Tudo.
Tudo bem. Oh, tudo. Sou Bryce. Sou de Philadelphia.
Sou de Philadelphia. Muito bom. Yeah, you could say so, Bryce. You could say, o meu nome é Bryce.
So either one would work.
Either one works. O meu nome gets right to the point. This is my name. You know.
So, o meu nome, Bryce.
É Bryce. Muito bom.
There's kind of a liaison between the end of nome and a.
O meu nome é. You get a little burst of vibration when you say right? So but you don't split it. It's not meu nome é, but rather o meu nome é.
O meu nome é.
Muito bom.
Bryce.
Muito bom.
Você é. Tony.
Okay, all right. Let's get that same verb in the second person form of a question to get some conversation started. Okay.
And again, it's just inflection of the voice that changes it from a statement to a question.
Yeah. Let me ask you if you're from Philadelphia. Say, Bryce, você é de Philadelphia?
I forgot how to say sing. Sou de Philadelphia.
Muito bom. I'm going to introduce this to you right off the bat because I think it's good to know. Often in Portuguese, in order to say yes, you repeat the verb. Believe it or not, right? So instead of so você é de Philadelphia, you could say sim. Or it's possible to say if I asked you você é de Philadelphia, you say so.
Okay, so.
And that'll work with any verb, right? Do you live in? I live. Like, did you go? I went. You know, like you'll actually use that verb to say yes.
Okay, you affirm it through repeating the verb.
That's right. Other languages do that too. Mandarin Chinese does that. It's not unheard of on the universal level. You know. Tá bom. Okay, Bryce, você é de Philadelphia.
Né?
So. Muito bom. Ask me if I'm from Philadelphia.
Tony, você é de Philadelphia?
Ask me if I'm from Philadelphia as well, too.
Também?
Muito bom. Também.
Você é de Filadélfia também?
No.
Não.
No. Não sou de Filadélfia.
And you could just say não sou.
No sou.
Yes. To negate it,
it doesn't. Yeah, I take your point. It doesn't sound as natural that way. No, sounds better.
Oh, okay.
For some reason,
no,
it doesn't.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you really get into the way, once you begin hearing the way people speak Portuguese, you might find some funky things. For example, you might find that someone actually says "so no."
Okay.
And stuff like that. Brazilian has this funky way of being, and sometimes it's nothing to think about, but you might begin to hear some things. You will begin to hear all types of things as you have these conversations, which is the importance of having conversations. You start to hear what people say.
Yes. Yeah, my friend said that it's a very idiomatic language on the street, as most languages are, but it's especially so, he said, in Brazilian Portuguese.
I would agree 100%. There's some really funky stuff that people say in Portuguese. Portuguese is almost like a Creole language.
Oh, okay.
So stuff happens simply because it happens, and it doesn't necessarily come from any master grammar.
Mm-hmm.
It's
playing itself out.
Right. It was described as the wildflower of Latin by a Spanish poet, like a kind of 1800s, 1700s, something like that, older style, Spanish poet called it the flor salvaje do Latim, the wildflower of Latin.
Speaking about the Portuguese in Portugal or in Brazil or both?
I probably Portugal, actually, but if you think about it, it is the geographically sort of furthest away from Rome.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of the Romance languages, right? So
yes.
you got Spain, you got French, Spain, everything, but Arabic in between it, right? So you kind of got some, and then take it and throw it plant that wildflower down in Brazil, where you've got indigenous influence, African influence, and you're definitely going to get some funky stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool, but it's you'll pick it up as you go. For now, this is all very standard, all very by the book. And let's put one more word here. Just say that word.
Estudiante.
Estudante.
Estudante.
Mm-hmm.
De português.
De português.
Português.
Português. Mm-hmm.
Sou estudante de português.
Bom.
Português.
Português. Sou estudante de português.
De português.
Sou
estudante de português.
Sou estudante de português. Bryce, você é estudante de português?
Sou.
Sou
estudante de português.
Português e espanhol? Or another language?
Diz I.
E
Arabic.
Okay. Árabe.
So not Arabi, but Arabic.
There it is. Yeah, no ein in this language. Bryce, você é estudante de português?
Sou estudante de português.
Boom. Don't let that you on the end make you don't let it steal your attention. Just SO.
Mm-hmm.
And
so.
Yeah, beautiful. And just by being an English speaker, you'll naturally want to put a diphthong on the O, because English we say O.
So. Yeah.
There you go. So, muito bom. So, você é estudante de português e árabe?
Sou estudante de português e árabe.
Muito bom. And Arabic as well?
E árabe também.
Também. Tá bom. Just because we have também,
so we can build the structure.
You keep building.
I've been worked on that. Oh, okay.
Exactly. Exactly. My mantra is it's learn a little, use a lot.
Uh-huh.
So if I have Tom Bang, I'm gonna try to use Tom Bang just because I have it.
Exactly. Yeah, we're learning. Yeah, exactly. We're learning phrases, but then you can deconstruct those phrases and put them back together in different ways.
Yeah, it's just it becomes rearranging. It's rearranging what you already have. So I'm gonna say once in a while to you, Bryce. I'm gonna say ta bom, which means okay.
Bom, bom.
Believe it or not, you actually say ta. Ta is the verb, so it's like you're repeating the verb.
Okay. Ta.
Ta.
Again, just like affirming it, like you said. Okay.
Affirming with the verb. It's short for esta, like like the verb esta. It is type of thing. Like from kind of like Spanish. Again, funky sort of Brazilian, slang. They'll say tá bom, and this isn't like super duper like street slang or anything. It's just everyone uses this. It's like someone just saying okay, something like that. So Bryce, I say this all the time. I go tá bom, and you go tá. Okay, muito bom, muito bom, muito bom. All you have to do is choose a topic and then choose a verb. That's all you ever have to do in learning a language. All right. If the topic is home, where you live, this is how you say I live.
Moro.
I'll use it. I'll use it right away. Moro in Chicago. Moro in Logan Square.
So moro in Philadelphia.
Moro in Philadelphia. Muito bom. Muito bom. Moro em Philadelphia.
You could write Philly if you want.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm like struggling on this. All right, moro in Philadelphia. I need to copy and paste it from now on and just. All right, moro in Philadelphia. Okay, tá bom, tá bom. All right, well, moro in Chicago. That's me. Moro in Chicago, tá? E você? E você mora em Chicago também?
Não. Moro em Philadelphia.
Moro em Filadélfia. Muito bom. Muito bom, muito bom. I lived.
I see.
I'm just telling you this because it came to mind. Moré in Harrisburg. Actually, for a few years. Moré in Harrisburg. Moré in Harrisburg.
So, Moré in Wisconsin.
Okay, Moré in Wisconsin. Moré en Wisconsin por 5 años. For example.
Okay. Por 5 años.
Just to give you that.
4. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So Moré en Wisconsin. Okay. Moré en Harrisburg por 4 años. 4 años.
4. So these are similar. Some of them are similar to Spanish. I don't know Spanish, but I've heard enough of the words to recognize some of them.
Yeah, Portuguese is basically Spanish, like with a different pronunciation.
Okay.
More or less. No, I mean estudiante, estudanchi. En Chicago, en Chicago. Right. Tudo bang, everything good. In Spanish, that would be todo bien. You know what I mean? It's almost everything. Bom is bueno. Você is vos or vosotros. Something. You know what I mean? It's all very similar. Tudo bem? Muito bom. Perfeito. Now, whatever comes to mind, you're free to create. I mean, the whole point is to create. Now, I want to
build up the structure.
Yeah, I want to make the topic be Portuguese. On this first page, it's like a momentum builder. It's a profile of the language, and it's a useful conversation. So it's like 3 birds with 1 stone.
Okay, so I can see, for example, ending in O, I assume is generally first person singular.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and again, learning the grammar kind of inductively through using it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so is it falu or falo?
Falu. Because moro, because tudo. You can assume it'll be falo.
Falo. So falo. Falo. Do I have to say G or just Portuguese?
Português.
Português e árabe.
Muito bom.
E inglês.
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 Falo português. I'll just do a comma. Árabe e inglês.
E você?
E você?
E você?
E você? Tá bom. Falo português, árabe, inglês e espanhol. Tá bom. Moro became você mora. So falo should become
Você fala.
muito bom. Muito bom. You're exactly right. Inductively, incidentally, passively, active, however you want to, how you're learning the grammar.
Yeah, like I think it's so helpful to learn it with the vocabulary within the context of phrases,
right?
Rather than just a list of words, but to put them actually into a phrase into a particular context.
For sure. Yep, it's all. That's why the first, like I said, the first thing you ever do is you think about your topic. Mm-hmm. There will be a topic. The only time you use language that you're not in a topic is like talking in your sleep. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like there's no, there will always be a topic, and no matter the topic, there will be a verb, and the verb creates the vocabulary and the useful expressions, and that's all there ever is. Now, if you want to zoom in on some stuff and go, let's get the theory of nouns, the theory of adjectives, fine, we can definitely do that. But why not see how much you can get through using the language itself? That's why I say language teaches itself. Mm-hmm. Right? Moro taught you falo. Moro você mora taught you falo. Você fala. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Muito bom.
Se você fala português?
Uhum. Você fala português? Falo. E você, Bryce, você fala português?
Falo.
Muito. Você fala outra língua?
This would be helpful. A little bit of French.
Okay. Falo pouco.
Okay.
Right.
But it's like ing. Excuse me, with the on.
Pouco.
Pouco. Pouco de francês.
Bom. A little bit of French. Falo pouco de francês.
Francês.
Tá bom. E, Bryce, você fala pouco de árabe também ou você fala muito árabe?
Neither nor, but let's be bold.
All right.
Muito árabe. It doesn't have to be right?
Sure
thing. Falo muito árabe.
Falo muito árabe. Ok, muito bom. Você fala mais árabe?
Falo mais árabe.
Uhum. Falo mais árabe que francês, né?
Que francês e português.
Muito bom.
Ok, so falo mais inglês que árabe.
Sim.
Português e francês.
Perfeito. Falo mais árabe que francês. Falo mais árabe, mais espanhol, mais português.
Okay.
There's this little word they put in sometimes. To tell you the truth, I forget what the rule is, but I feel like when I say this, I want to say mais árabe do que francês. Mm-hmm. It's like then that with. Forget it. Just goes dookie. Okay, yeah. Dookie. It is like dookie. All right. So falo mais árabe do que francês. Yeah, that sounds right to me. I could be wrong, but it sounds right to me. Real quick, because I mean, look, we're on we follow these little tangents, right? We're at the end of a branch, and that branch has one more little branch. Mm-hmm. Why not take it or leave it? Learn it now, learn it later. But menos,
Menos.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so falo menos árabe do que inglês.
Muito bom. Falo mais árabe do que inglês. Muito bom. How do you say more or less?
Más o menos.
Yeah, how do you say more?
Mais,
Yeah.
mais e menos.
Mais ou.
Oh, mais ou menos.
Mais ou menos. How do you say kinda?
I don't know. Same thing?
Yeah,
Mais ou
same thing.
menos?
Same thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like to do that trick question where I say, okay, look, how do you say more or less? Mais ou menos. How do you say kinda? It's the same family, the same area of meaning.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll find that in a lot of languages, you'll find that you'll have two ways to say something in English, but in Portuguese, it's all one way.
I see.
You know, because imagine this, right? Like if I said, hey, you know, Bryce, você fala francês? You could be
Mais
like,
ou menos.
mais ou menos.
I see. Mais ou menos.
All the Romance languages have it. Spanish is más o menos, French is comme si comme ça, and Italian più o meno, and stuff like that. So mais ou menos, né?
Mais ou menos.
Mais ou menos. Tá bom, muito bom, muito bom. Little more mileage. Do this one.
Estudo.
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 Right. It's a free giveaway now.
Você estuda.
Muito bom, muito bom. Bryce, você estuda português?
Estudo. Sorry.
Bom.
Estudo português.
Estudo português. Bryce, onde você estuda português? Onde
So,
você...
when? Where?
Onde você estuda português, Bryce?
Estudo português internet.
Na internet.
Na internet.
You could go. Here's how they say Skype. They go Skype.
Skype. Okay.
Skype.
Yeah. In Skype. In Skype.
Yeah, on Skype, in Skype.
Okay.
One more word you want, Kong?
Exactly.
Tá bom?
And it's Kong?
Kong. Yeah, the M on the end, it's like an NG.
Yeah, Kong Tony.
Contoni. Muito bom, muito bom. Bryce, você estuda... Onde você estuda português?
Estudo. Sorry, I'm forgetting. Estudo português em Skype com Tony.
Muito bom. Estudo português em Skype com Tony.
E com Tony.
Com Tony. Mm-hmm. In Skype. Skype is how they say.
Skype.
Yeah.
Português em Skype e com Tony.
Muito bom. Muito bom. Tudo bem, Bryce? Tá, tudo bom. Muito bom.
Tudo. Bom.
Tá bom.
Tudo.
Tudo. Yeah, you can say tudo there.
Tudo.
Saying tudo bang in the middle of things is typical of Brazil. It's not just a greeting. It's almost like a checking in. It's like a military style. It's like good to go. Good, you tracking?
Yeah.
Type of,
I see.
Right. I want to take a huge bite out of the pie.
Okay.
And what this is going to do is let you continue with the momentum that you have begun to build on page 1.
Mm-hmm.
It's all very conversational. You could literally have this conversation at a Portuguese meetup, first conversation with someone. You could just run just a single page, and you could have a conversation for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Just change the variables out. Talk about
move some things around.
There you go. Right. And so moving to a structural look at things. How do you say I speak? Falo. Yeah. And check this out. If I say this, I get that.
Mm-hmm. Continuous.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Estou falando.
Yep. Estou. Forget the U.
Oh yeah, I'm doing that. Estou falando.
Estou falando.
Estou falando.
Estou falando. So what I like to do sometimes is take just the function word. The function, not the function, either word or part of the word, suffix type of thing, right? And separate that from the root, right? and it's the root, the FAL, that is actually the variable.
I see.
Because what you could do is you can come along here and put, like, I'll go in chronological order. We had this word for live.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, morando.
There you go.
Morando, oh, no, en Philadelphia.
Muito bom. Estou morando. Morando em...
Morando en.
There it is. All right. Yeah, you could say I'm living in Philadelphia. Of course, you could say I'm living in Philadelphia right now, you know?
Yes, but yeah, like I assume it's similar to English if you want to stress the fact that right now I'm living in Philly.
Correct. Yeah, maybe I've been all over, but right now estoy morando en Philadelphia. Speaking of that, let me just give you this word.
Agora.
Muito bom. Yeah, falo, estou falando, moro, estou morando. Huh?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm going to forget it. Estudo. So estudando.
Muito bom. I'm studying Portuguese.
Mm-hmm. Estudando português.
Mm-hmm. Right. Estou. Forget the U.
Oh, I'm doing it. Estou.
Bom.
Estudando português.
I'm studying Portuguese now.
Estudando português agora.
Estou estudando português agora.
Estou estudando português agora.
Muito bom. Now this is just a big look, a big overview of things.
Mm-hmm.
If you say that, it gives you the past tense.
Mm-hmm. Is it falei? Falei. Okay, so falei, Arabi, how would you say yesterday?
Okay.
Some of the words that would go along it.
For sure.
To mark the past.
For sure. I spoke Arabic. Let me give you... Where should this go? I guess it could go here.
So onteng.
And look, you could say I spoke Arabic today. Today could be the past tense too.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's, Spanish it's silent, right? But do you say it in Portuguese? The H, I'm sorry, the H.
Correct. Yeah, you don't say it.
So oye?
Hoje. Let me just put your adverbs of time and place. Has a little menu over here you could pick and choose.
Mm-hmm.
Falei árabe ontem.
Falei árabe hoje.
Muito bom. Ok, falei árabe hoje. Muito bom. Falei árabe hoje with?
Mm-hmm. With my friend.
Yep.
With my friend from. I could learn that would be very helpful.
Very good.
Con amigo?
Amigo means friend. Now, I want to show you how you can be really, like, sleuth, you know, when it comes to these things. You don't, you know, no one's going to teach you how to say my friend, but you can come back here and say, and find how to say my.
Yes, I see. O meu. Com amigo. Com meu amigo. Com
O meu. Bom.
O meu amigo.
This phrase, o meu, as in o meu nome or o meu amigo, is a perfect example of not feeling like you need to break down that which is within a single cell. Right? Because as soon as you start thinking, wait, what does O mean? What does O mean? Well, O means the. So the, my friend, and you're screwed.
Yeah.
You're not going to be. You'll never think to say O again because you'll never think to put the word the there if you're thinking word for word. So you don't break down what's here, and you don't really break down what's here. You just take those two things as a given, and then mix and match between the verb and vocabulary categories.
Yep, I see.
Right. So as a given, o meu amigo means my friend.
Mm-hmm. O meu amigo.
Mm-hmm. With my friend.
meu amigo.
Mm-hmm.
From, I could say en Egypt or from Egypt. I don't know which one is better.
Yep. If he's in Egypt, you could say in. If he's in Philadelphia, you say, but he's from, then you could say from. You know?
No, he's in Egypt.
In Egypt.
En Egypt.
Yep. En Egyptu, I believe. I'd have to double check. I think that's how you say it.
Egyptu. Okay. But again, those are dictionary words that are easy enough to double check.
Yeah, you can find
it.
it.
I'm focusing here on the structure.
Okay, I just looked it up real quick. It's Egito.
Okay, Egito.
Egito. Yeah, you can use Google Translate for your leaves on the branch, which I just did. Like, so, Congo meo en Egipto. I spoke Arabic yesterday with my friend from Egypt, in Egypt.
Fale Arabi ontem como meu amigo em Egito.
Egito. Muito bom.
Egito.
Egito. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to do just a little more here. No pressure to learn all of this at once. It's not meant to be a flashcards type thing.
Yeah.
It's meant to be a system that you use, this is what a language is a system that you use to create meaning, to express yourself.
So if I'm talking to my Brazilian friend, I can have these in front of me and pull what I need.
Exactly. And the more you do that, the more it's going to become native, natural to your mind. It will become so unconscious, and you soon will be using the generator, so to speak, which is to say the language, to create meaning without thinking about it. Purely, unconsciously, which is what you're doing when you speak a language fluently. So it just takes a little bit of effort before you're like, oh, okay, I'm kind of just making a habit out of this now. Now it's unconscious. Right? I'm going to give you this one.
Estava falando.
Yeah, estava.
Estava falando.
Estava falando.
Falando. Okay, estava falando árabe ontem como meu amigo em Egito.
Egito. Yeah. So I'm speaking, I spoke, I was speaking. Right? Estava falando. Tell me where you were living before Philly. Maybe nowhere, but just pretend,
Okay, well, estava morando em New York.
Muito bom. Estava morando em Nova York.
Nova York.
Muito bom. Estava morando em Chicago. Before Chicago for me, right? Antes Chicago, estava morando em North Carolina. Tá bom.
If I were to ask that as a question, could I also just say você? Or e você, excuse me, e você?
E você?
Or do you have to kind of change it, the tense as well?
You could. Do you just want to say, what about you?
Yeah, like, and how about you?
E você? E você?
Okay, e você. So
E você.
E você.
Easiest question of all. E você? Take everything I just said, and now you tell me. I mean, that's E você? I was studying Portuguese yesterday.
Estava estudando português ontem.
Muito bom. Estava estudando português ontem. Tá bom?
Tá.
Right, that becomes a habit, right? Soon as tá bom, tá bom, tá bom, tá. Boom, last one for you, really the last one. If you say this, you get the future tense. Going to future, I'm going to speed. Right.
So, falar.
You can kind of just, goes falar, like just open. Falar.
Vou falar.
Muito bom. Vou falar.
Oh, vou, not French. Vou falar.
Vou falar.
So, vou falar, I'm going to, okay, excuse me. Vou falar árabe tomorrow. Amanhã.
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 Look, NH sounds like, sounds like this. Oh my god. How do I? Oh my god, dude. Hold on. I'm like Control N. It keeps doing it. Oh my gosh. I'm trying to make the tilde from Spanish.
Okay, yeah, okay. I know. I don't speak Spanish, but
yeah.
Niño.
Yeah. There you go. So NH in Spanish just makes a ñ sound. Imagine it's NY. Ñ.
And I know this is outside of the course, but in Spanish it's mañana.
Mañana.
So it preserves that ñ sound.
Very close. Very close.
Mañana.
Portuguese comes up. It's like in some ways it's like Spanish. In some ways it's like Italian. In some ways it's like French. Like it gets the nasal of French, which Italian and Spanish don't have. It gets the It gets. Or I guess Spanish does have some nasal, but you know what I mean. Okay. It gets a lot more nasal than Spanish has, right? In Italian today, to say today, you say oggi, where in Spanish it's hoy. So like there's like some. I don't know. It's just a funky mixture within this. It's the wildflower of Latin. You know?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't know if this was a particular dialect or not, but there was a film out of Rio de Janeiro, and I didn't hear the Italian, but I definitely heard like the mix of Spanish and French.
Yeah, sure. Sometimes people hear Portuguese and think that they're hearing an Eastern European language, because there's a lot of sh and zh.
Yeah.
So people Polish like sh, you know, like you. You can hear a lot of those sounds in Portuguese, and they'll think that. I mean, I've thought it myself. Even I've overheard Portuguese from a distance and been like, Eastern European. Oh, it's Portuguese. Whoa! But I'm just hearing so much sh and zh, you know, zh. And sh, you know. Do the bang. To the bang. Ta. So at this point, then you can take a bunch of new stems or new roots. And just see what you come. You could play with this all day. You could literally go away and just play with this. You know. Before I move on, can you use drink? Make a sentence with drink.
Tomé. Tomé. Café.
Café.
Café. Café. Hoje.
Tomei café hoje.
Hoje.
This means to work. The LH makes like LY, just like NH made NY. Yeah, LH makes LYA. I don't know, like LY.
Trabalhei.
Muito bom.
Okay. Trabalhei. Could I just say? I could just leave the pronoun out, right? I could just say trabalhei. 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 Ontem.
Trabalhei.
Trabalhei. Ontem.
Trabalhei ontem.
Trabalhei ontem.
Perfeito.
How would I say? I didn't. To negate any of these, I guess.
Take a guess.
No.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah. I didn't work yesterday.
Não falei. No, sorry. Não trabalhei ontem.
Não trabalhei ontem. Não trabalhei. Yep, you could put now. Just put now in front of any of that.
Okay.
Right. This is part of the beauty of the vertical orientation to language is because you put now here and it automatically comes all the way down.
Yep. I'm just applying what I learned above to these verbs.
Exactly. You always see language represented horizontally, right? It comes all the way over, then the next line down. Typewriter, obviously. I mean, at the end of the day, you do write that way, no matter how you got there. But the point is that it's almost like when you organize language horizontally that way, line above line, it's hard to see it's hard to pull something out of it. It's hard to be like, okay, well, this is equivalent to that. Like if you stack it vertically, then you see how it like the patterns seem to
Yeah, you
jump
see
out
how
at
the
you
language
more.
unfolds. Is
Yeah.
your principle, being building off the verbs.
Yeah.
Is the main branches.
Right. I think of it in the same way that if you stack papers
Mm-hmm.
on top of each other, it's a lot harder to get the paper you need rather than if you stack them vertically within some sort of like paper holder, like filing
Mm-hmm.
system, and then you can just go right to the letter you need and pull the paper out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, stacking things vertically. All right. Let me give you one more verb, and then you can always get new verbs as you go. This one's travel, so.
Is it viage? Viage.
Yep.
So if I say I traveled, it would be viager.
Viager.
Viager. Viager. Two is or okay, there's how do you say Morocco?
Morocco. That's another one I'm gonna look up. It seems like I haven't said Arabic-speaking countries in Portuguese too much. Let me take a look. Marrocos.
Marrocos. So viager à Marrocos.
Viager à Marrocos. What does that tell you about the sound, about the letters RR?
H. English H. Yeah. Marrocos.
Marrocos, yep. You mentioned that you learn the grammar as you go. Children do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you also learn the pronunciation as you go.
Mm-hmm.
If we did a traditional lesson and started with the alphabet, we'd be at what, letter R right now? And it turns out we are at letter R, except you already have your main three tenses of past, present, future, whole bunch of understanding of how to create sentences, and enough fodder to have conversation for minutes, hours, however long you can stretch it.
Mm-hmm. I see.
Tá bom?
So I could say, can I try one? I'm just
Sure,
try
please,
one.
go for it.
Vou viajar.
Vou viajar.
Vou viajar. Brasil.
Yeah. Vou viajar a... Listen, they call Brazil the Brazil.
Okay.
So you get the
I've
O.
seen that in other languages as well.
Sure. Arabic has that. Right?
Yeah.
Now, all you got to do is just combine the A and the O.
Okay.
It works that way. Okay.
So it's ao or a.
Ao.
Ao Brasil.
Ao Brasil. Vou viajar ao Brasil. Sim.
Okay.
Now, when you go and practice these sentences, or just practice writing, go away and practice writing. Like close the screen, practice writing, and prepare yourself to have conversation with people. And as you go, some questions are going to pop up, like some new possibilities are going to pop up. Like, oh, I could say this, I could say that. I'm sure there's tons of possibilities I'm not even thinking about that are on the screen right here. You'll discover them. And then also some questions might come up, like, wait a second, it's like this doesn't seem to add up. What about this? What about that? Record your questions, make a list of the questions that you might have, and then come back and ask me those questions.
Okay.
And that'll be the next level. That's like your plateau. That's the next level that we have to build upon.
Okay.
To the bang. We've got 12 minutes, just a 1 hour lesson. We're only 48 minutes in. And I want to give you this something incredibly generative, I believe. It's called the core of the core. Okay. Past, present, future. Be, have, go, do. Here's the thing, Bryce, and it's somewhat new to me. It's not completely new, but it's like evolved even further. I realized the other day that as far as I'm concerned with my students, and also for myself when I'm learning a new language, is if I can't and if you can't manage the verbs be, have, go, do in the past, present, and future, then there's really no reason to be learning anything else. All right. So let me start building this for you. I don't care about structure here. I don't care about pattern. I don't care about, like, you can memorize these by rote. It's that important. And I can do it, we can do it in even give you the question form. All right? How do you say I was in Baltimore?
Estaba en Baltimore.
Muito bom. Yesterday, ontem.
Ontem.
Ask me, were you in Chicago?
Você estava em Chicago?
Muito bom. Bom, yeah. Sorry to cut you off. Feel free to. Ontem.
Oh, no problem.
Present tense looks like this.
Estou.
Muito bom. Ask me if I'm in Chicago right now.
Agora, ok. Você está em Chicago agora?
My answer is sim, estou. Estou. E você, Bryce, você está em Filadélfia agora?
Sim, estou.
Estou. Ok, muito bom. Vou estar. Você vai estar. I'm throwing it up quickly because I don't care how long this takes you to learn. I mean, you can memorize. You can take for however long you need to learn these building blocks, but you must have these building blocks ASAP in any language, right? Like, if it's my first day in any language, I want to be able to manage be, have, go, do in past, present, future. Can you ask me a question with você vai estar?
Você vai estar em Philly?
Bom. No. Não vou estar em Philly. Vou estar em Chicago. The whole rest of the month vou estar em Chicago. Não vou estar em Philly. Bryce, você vai estar em Nova York pretty soon, coming up? Você vai estar em Nova York ou somente Philadelphia?
Vou estar em Nova York.
Muito bom. Perfeito. I'm doing this quickly for you. I just want to build it and then let you'll see.
Now I can practice it.
You can practice it, right? I'll say for Chinya. Você Chinya. Ask me if I had a question.
Você tinha uma pergunta?
Você tinha uma pergunta? Pergunta. Você tinha uma pergunta?
Você tinha uma pergunta?
Você tinha uma pergunta?
Tinha uma pergunta.
And how would you say, no, I didn't?
Não tinha.
Não tinha. Perfecto. So many options. I mean, you use a dictionary, use Google Translate to find your vocabulary. And you can throw it in there. All right, these are very basic building blocks, but incredibly strong foundation building blocks. Right? How often are you something, somewhere? How often do you have? How often are you going? How often are you doing? You are never not being, having, going, and doing.
Tenho.
Yeah.
And você tem?
Você.
Você tem.
Tang.
Tang.
Your TI sound makes a chi.
Oh, it's just the TI.
T makes te. Yeah, TI only.
Oh, okay. So tenho. Você tem.
Você tang.
Tang.
Rhymes with Tulu bang.
Bang, yeah.
Tang.
Tang.
Like the flavor, tang. Like it's tangy. Tang. Você tang. Say tang.
Você tang.
Do you have Brazilian friends? I don't know. You can come up with this yourself later, you know.
Tenho amigos brasileiros.
Bom, brasileiros.
Excuse me. Amigos brasileiros.
Amigos brasileiros.
Brasileiros.
Bryce, você tem amigos brasileiros?
Tenho amigos brasileiros.
Muito bom. Você tem muitos amigos brasileiros?
Não tenho. Tenho muitos amigos brasileiros. Tenho un amigo.
Amigo.
Un amigo.
Tenho amigo brasileiro.
Brasileiro.
Bom. Muito bom. I'm going to have. Are you going to have? Vou ter. Você vai ter. And whatever you put there, I'm going to have this, that, I don't know, you know. Here we go. I went.
Okay, is it? I want to say diphthong, but I don't know. Is it fui?
It is a diphthong. Yep.
Fui.
Fui ao Brasil.
Okay. So I could say não fui ao Brasil.
Não fui ao Brasil. Ask me, did you go?
Você
foi?
Você foi ao Brasil?
Ao Brasil?
Ao Brasil?
Você foi ao Brasil? Sim, fui ao Brasil. Bryce, você foi ao Marrocos?
Fui ao Marrocos.
Ok, fui ao Marrocos. Muito bom. Present tense, I go, or even I'm going.
That would be vou.
That's vou.
Vou, yeah, okay.
And then are you going, or do you go, however you want to think of it.
Você vai.
Right? And then I guess the future would be I'm going to go, but it's still just you know, vou, basically, in Portuguese.
Okay.
So, vai. Blah, blah, blah. And you'll no doubt have questions and no doubt have a ton of possibilities and a ton of fodder for conversation. So I'm just laying these down for you. This is a really core structure.
That's very helpful. Like you said, I can, on my own, depending on what I want to say, build them up as well.
Yeah. What do? I did yoga. I did my homework. O meu dever.
Dever.
I believe that's homework. I'm kind of rusty. I did my homework. Fiz o meu dever. Let's say você fez. It's a lot of irregularity in these verbs. But those, you know, such is the case with the basic verbs in many languages. Be, have, go, do is often irregular. In English, it's irregular, right? Be, I am. You know, go, I went. It's like a ton of, you know. So it's worth just having these building blocks. Right, I did this. I do such and such. Do you do?
How do you pronounce I do?
Faço.
Faço. Okay.
Faço. Going to do such and such. I know I'm totally Russian, totally laying it all down.
No problem. I see the similarities to other languages with this verb, other Romance languages with to do.
Are you going to do? Okay. Now here's how this all culminates. This has been literally within the last week or two a sort of new, again, not completely new, but just a new evolution, a new iteration of things. Here's what I'm giving myself in the first lesson. It's a page of personal information. Right? I want to be able to say, hi, my name is Tony, I'm from Chicago, I live here, I speak a little Portuguese, blah, 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 and that starts to give me the profile of the language, right? I might take a look at you know, if I'm able to figure this out. Sometimes I have to ask someone, like, how does this work, how does that work, you know, but one way or another, I like to have one verb in the main tenses, right? And then most importantly, the verbs be, have, go, do.
Okay.
in first and second person, past, present, future. Now, the way this all culminates is in 3 questions, and I get real excited about this. I'm going to give you this question. Again, it doesn't matter. We're not learning the language here. I'm just giving you a way to use the language. Okay? This question means, what did you do? Right? Now, you could go back and tailor that question for yourself in your journal with, what did you do today? What did you do yesterday? Okay? You take that question. Let me just show you the complete picture here, and then we'll go back for a second, then we'll be done in a couple minutes. So, o que você está fazendo? That's what are you doing? And o que você vai fazer? Again, you can go back and insert the word for tomorrow, or later today, or whatever you want to do, okay? So here's my challenge to you, Bryce. You take what we learned today and you use it. You use it first by writing.
Yes.
So like I said, you say build a matrix. That's complete for today, right? You build a matrix. You practice writing just a little bit, and then you practice speaking. And by speaking, I mean speaking with a real person.
Yes.
The mirror works too. I use the mirror as well, but you want to find someone right away. Your amigo brasileiro will do fine.
Exactly.
Okay? Now, when it comes to practice writing, you can definitely go back and write on these topics, self, homework, practice that. See if you can come up with some variations. See if you can speak it into yourself in the mirror and all of those things. But check this out. See if you can answer, what did you do? What are you doing? And what are you going to? Because that's yet just another iteration of past, present, and future. Plus, you have these questions now to ask your friend. You can easily, use these questions. Say, hey, what are you doing today? Right? I mean, that's what I'm asking people anyway on a casual conversation. How are you? What's up? What are you up to? What are you doing this weekend?
Exactly.
Okay? And listen to how he or she responds, and you'll learn a lot. But check this out. When you're practicing writing, answer these questions. Right? And here's the even further challenge. Only use that which is in your core of the core.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
What did you do today? Well, I was in Baltimore, actually. I was in, Harrisburg last. I was in New York earlier. Now I'm at home, and I'm going to do my homework. What are you doing right now? I'm at home. I have an appointment later. I'm going to do that, and after that, I'm going to do such and such. Oh, what are you going to do later? Oh, well, I'm going to do such and such. I'm going to this place. I'm going to be in such and such place.
Okay.
All right. So you use your core of the core in order to answer these core questions.
Yes.
Tá bom?
Oh, that's very helpful. Thank you.
No problem. My pleasure. I'll be curious to see what you come up with. Feel free to share your journal entries. If you type those, digitize something, feel free to send those over at any point in time. Curious to hear how your conversations will go with your Brazilian friends or friend. And the next time we get together on Portuguese, we're going to just have some conversation, practice our get the fluency going, and keep building momentum, and then take our grammatical and otherwise language lessons as needed.
Okay, thank you. And could I trouble you to send me this as a file?
I'm going to send it to you as a PDF.
Yeah, thank you.
And you'll have that. And any questions you have, just let me know.
Well, thank you so much, Tony. This is very helpful.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Okay, well, I'll contact you when I'm ready for another lesson.
Excellent.
And in the meantime, I'll be writing and speaking.
Excellent, Bryce. Sounds great.
Okay, well, all the best to you.
Same to you, Bryce. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.